can help you.
How?
Because I'm a kid.
You are the chosen one.
Nope. Let's not give her a complex.
Good luck, short stack. It's all up to you. No pressure. Hook and dagger! Hope this works.
All right, let's find these ifs and kids.
Chief!
John, wanted to start with you. You're coming from the horror movie genre. What made you change and come to the family-friendly movie?
It's very sweet. I had always had this idea of doing something with imaginary friends. And I was watching my kids always go to this magical world that as parents we're not invited into. And I just thought I should do something about that, but what is my in? And it wasn't until the pandemic that I found my in, which is my kids their lights started to go out and they started to do many fewer imaginary games. They started letting the real world in and they started asking things like, are we gonna be okay? And I thought, that's my in. How do you make imagination this source of love and happiness and joy that my kids will know they can always go back to? And so that's where the idea came from.
Have they watched it?
They have not seen it yet. They're seeing it in T-minus 4 days, I think.
Ooh, exciting.
We're gonna do a whole family premiere kind of thing. Please don't tell them it's not the real premiere because I've told them it's the real premiere.
Amazing. So Kaylee, your performance is outstanding. So good. Was it difficult? Was it a challenge to act with characters that are not really there on set with you?
I mean, I was definitely very nervous whenever we first started because I just didn't know. I mean, I see all these videos of like people doing scenes with people that aren't actually there and it's like a stick with like a tennis ball on top of it. So I was very nervous because I've never acted with that before. But thankfully we didn't have that, thanks to John. He didn't want us to do that, thank God. So we had actors sometimes and then we would have puppets and stuffed animals and cardboard cutouts. And John would be the characters for us.
Gladly puppeteer them.
Yes. So how is working with Ryan Reynolds on the channel? I know that you've been meaning to make a movie with him for a long time, right?
For me, it was great. I mean, he's clearly one of the funniest people out there. I've been a big fan of his forever, but I think that what was really nice about this movie is if we pulled it off, people would get to see a little bit more of what I've seen and now she knows, which is he's got a huge heart. And as a dad and a husband and a friend, he's just a wonderful human. And he gets to show off that heart, or at least a fraction of that heart in this movie, which I was really happy about.
Yeah. What was the best part of working with him as a co-star?
I don't know. I mean, Ryan's amazing. I look up to him and I think I learned a lot just from watching him. He's very creative. He has a lot of great ideas that I could never even think of. But obviously he's hilarious. Every time he was on set, I was crying, laughing somewhere. I think I ruined a lot of takes.
You did.
Laughing, but it's okay. No big deal.
Because now we have a great blooper reel.
We do. I think, yeah, I laughed a lot with him, but I was just glad I got to know him. I think he's very special.
Were you excited to reunite for this movie after working together on Fleabag?
I have been waiting for this day.
Fleabag was 2.5 minutes of my life, and possibly the most important 2.5 minutes of my life. To just be, a follicle on the hair of her brilliant brain was the honour of my life. She sort of produced a generation of actors, which I was too old to be part of that young generation of actors, but she just produced them and did that, didn't she? One after the other. I think the first scene of Fleabag is the best scene I have ever seen on television.
She's the key to Fleabag, and she's the key to this film too. That's the thing, if you really want something to fly,
we haven't helped you. Well, we loved being reunited,
yes.
But we weren't entirely reunited because we sort of were separate, not in the same room, but in one way. Yeah. Artistically reunited, which is possibly all that matters.
Yep, still a reunion.
Yeah, it is.
So, Phoebe, how was working in this character, giving life to this character through your voice, mainly, obviously?
Oh, well, there's so much joy in doing this kind of performance because they create, it's kind of chicken and egg. So you see an image and you read the script and then you come in and you start playing and they're sort of recording your face and your movements in case you do anything, and then it affects and influences the character, and then that comes back next time. And so it's a really organic process of collaboration.
Do the images move when you do it?
No,
they're just drawings.
Yeah, so they're taking it all from you.
From you.
Yeah, and so so you can really play. And John was so open-hearted and playful, and it was a wonderful experience. It's a very liberating experience.
Yeah. So my favorite scene in the movie is probably Fiona, where you dance in the living room, which is an amazing scene. How was filming that?
It was lovely to do because I think everybody was excited about it happening. They couldn't wait, they waited 3 weeks to see if I could dance at all, and it took an awful lot of practice. But when it came to it, it was a lovely idea, wasn't it? Because it sort of looked out beyond the scene. It went into, looking at Manhattan from Brooklyn is a kind of an epic thing anyway, and somehow the whole landscape became part of the whole story, didn't it? And then, of course, to have behind the couch waiting to be reunited was the little Blossom. And that was really lovely. But we lived in anticipation because it hadn't yet happened. We had to just do it in part, and then she did the other bit.
Oh, amazing. So you had to train to do the dancing?
Of course! Oh my God! If you only knew how awful it was. I had to train for weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was very, very choreographed.
Yeah.
I know it looked
so
spontaneous,
beautiful.
but it wasn't.
It does look very spontaneous, so, good one.
It wasn't.
How inspired were you by Pixar movies when making this film? Because, Michael Giacchino's music, this, emotional side of it, it does feel like a live-action Pixar movie.
Well, I remember Ryan saying that, and I thought, wow, that's a high bar to live up to. Clearly, I think Pixar movies are brilliant. They've been bringing us through incredible stories and emotional journeys for years and years and years. And I was actually more trying to reference the movies I grew up on, which would be, whether it's E.T. or Goonies. And the thing about those movies, I think that was so indelible to me was the idea that they treated me as more than just a kid, that they thought that thematically and emotionally I would be able to handle much more as an 8-year-old than the rest of the world thought I could. And there's something in that. There's something in that respect of giving to kids that says, we'll have a lot of fun, but we'll also talk about some real stuff too. And I think those are the most special movies I grew up on, so I tried to make one of those.
Yeah, amazing. So what are you both hoping that audiences, both kids, adults, all ages, are taking away from this movie?
You go first.
Hope. Honestly, I think that there's this idea that I think everyone goes through, not kids, but adults alike, that you're alone when you're having your worst day. You know what I mean? Whether it's a breakup, whether it's someone being mean to you at school, whatever it is, you feel like no one else has gone through this. And we all go through it. And so I think that what's great about all these ifs is they were created by kids who needed a friend. And so I think that we all need a friend, whether we're kids or we've grown up. And so I think the idea when you're having a bad day, that's okay. Just know that there is this magical world waiting for you that you can go back anytime you want.
Yeah, what about you, Kate?
Well, I can't beat that answer, so I should have gone first, dang it. Yeah, I agree. That's a great word, hope. I can explain it as much as I want to, but I could never get there.
Well, that's nice.
I just love the idea of people walking out and imagining, thinking about the adults thinking about their childhoods in that way and remembering their own ifs and connecting in some way to their child, their inner child, in a not embarrassing way. And I think that's such a beautiful thing about this film is that we're all slightly embarrassed by the idea of our inner child, but this one celebrates it so much. And I hope that kids can really take pride and be more empowered to have their imaginary friends around them.
Yeah, and the children must come out thinking a film for us. It's gorgeous when a film celebrates childhood, and so I think everybody will enjoy it.
Yeah,
I hope they will.
Yeah, you feel that there's not a lot of family movies right now on screen.
Especially not original ones. I mean, this is what's so extraordinary, is it's just come from his heart, a conversation that John had with his daughters, and then he said he was just compelled to write this story, and it's such a breath of fresh air to watch something so new and so inventive and so heartbreaking. I mean, the layers to it, when there's one moment where the hand touches the shoulder of somebody that is just
Getting the job.
devastating.